to Unladylike Opinions, where this is Black Ink Crew Chicago, Season 7, episode, I forgot to put the episode, I don't know. Always and Forever. And, I don't know. I need to get something other than my computer so this glare won't be in my glasses, because I can't do a video without these glasses because I am blind as hell. But anyway, the episode starts off with them over at Nine Meg just eating somebody's food, don't know who food they eat. Who sit there and eat somebody's food and they don't know who it is? Who sit there and picks up something they don't know what it is and start putting it in their mouth? That's stupid. So Ryan walks up and said, what the hell? They eating his food. So Don still saga that, his grand opening was delayed. So him and his team went in their own pockets to get it together. And someone just got COVID and it had to get shut down. So Ryan said the convention is coming up and they ready for a big turnout because especially because it's their hometown, and he wants to be properly prepared for it. And he said it's gonna be Charmaine first time doing a convention with her shop, and he said she got a team of rookies, but he asked the people that's over the convention to place her booth right next to his so he can support her. He doesn't want her to go through this and feel like she failed because everything won't go as planned, because everything does not go as planned. And said he gonna be by her side 100%. And then he asked for if he was coming to the convention, and Ford was like, he got to be on alert because it's at the finish line with Nina to have a baby, so he want to be around. And he said dealing with a pregnant woman is not easy. Duh. And he said they are in a weird space right now, and he found him a spot that he's staying in. And they said, Ryan was like, you moved out? And the girl, I can't never remember her name, said him moving out while a baby coming can't be the best thing. Creating space is not gonna help them fix anything. And he interrupts her and he said, yeah, it is. And Ryan said, she needs your support. And he I've been there and I'm a call. He was like, Ford was like, I've been there and I'm a call away if she need me. Like, nigga. So Ryan said he should stick around until the baby is here. Once you done your job, then you can leave. Now, she can't be like, you wasn't there for me when I was pregnant, but you was, or whatever. And Ford said the decision is already made, and he let Nina have the apartment, and he makes the executive decision over here. And I'm like, oh, okay, Ford. So Don said, we gave our opinion, but do what's best for you. And so then you get Nina and Ashley. Nina is taking this birthing class, and the lady tell her to get on the ball and spell her name with her vagina. And I'm like, okay, Megan. And Nina asks, what does she recommend for stress? And she tells her to say affirmations to herself out loud. And it was pretty encouraging, the affirmation she was giving her to say. And Nina says she can't stop thinking about the situation her and Ford are in, and she hopes he will be there to support her at the birth of their son. She thanks Ashley for being her baby daddy for the day. And Ashley said she was happy to be the baby daddy and be there for her, but since it's so close to, your due date, have you figured out who was going to be in the delivery room with you? And Nina said, well, I was trying to mend a relationship with my mom and Ford, and me and him end up bumping heads. And she tells Ashley, now he said he wants father's rights, so he need a DNA test to do that. And Ashley said, what? Now, if Don asked me for a DNA test while I was ready to pop, I would have popped him upside the head. And we already know Ashley would have did just that. She would have did more than popped him upside his head. And Nina said she was hurt and confused because, are you looking for a DNA test and blaming it on the father, right? Do you want to see if this actually your son so you can run out? That's how I took it. And I'm like, yes, Nina. And Nina said, if he wants the test, then let's just take the test because he my baby daddy. That's what she said. And Ashley said, I am what, I'm over all this, and I know you can't drink, but I need a shot right now. So then you got Kitty talking to Drea, and they talking about the stuff at Second City, and Kitty said it's new people coming in left and right. She don't know any of them. She hasn't been introduced to them. She don't know what's going on. You know, she's not in on none of the information. Charmaine's doing everything on her own, and she don't know what she's supposed to be branding. They got this convention coming up. She don't know. She should be printing out business cards, but she don't know what to put on business card. Who business cards for who? Flyers. She don't know what to put on there. It's like she don't know nothing. And Drea said the new people are pretty cool, and she takes Kitty around and introduces her to them. And Drea says Charmaine got one artist that has only been tattooing for a few months, and one that only tattoos, you know, certain things. He's like a one-trick pony. And she's wondering, like, how she gonna bring them to the convention. What is they gonna, you know, bring? And it's a client that's sitting there, and Kitty and Drea goes over, and she says she's been waiting for Prince on a tattoo, and they go ask Prince's brother, the name I can't remember, like, where's Prince? And he was like, I don't know, I ain't his keeper. And he was like, what's going on? It was like, well, she's sitting there waiting on a tattoo. And he was like, she been here since 3 o'clock. They showed the dang on clock, and the clock said that it's after 7. And I'm like, she been there 4 hours? Girl, you better than me. So Kit finally gets him on the phone, and she hands the phone off to Drea. And Drea says she didn't want to just take his client away without, you know, having his consent. But if he needed her to do it, she will. And he said he's trying to get there, but Shorty gonna have to be okay with getting the work done from you. And that's cool. Drea said the shop is crumbling. She hasn't even been back long enough. And there is no leadership, no management, and they don't have any suppliers to do their job. So Drea talks to the client, and she tells her she gonna make sure that her tattoo is as gorgeous as she can. And Prince brother gonna holler out, I hope you don't make that tattoo look better than Prince design. I'm like, girl, boy, whatever. And Drea said she was happy and wanted to be in Charmaine's shop when she started, because she was the first black woman in Chicago to open up a tattoo shop. And as black women, they deal with stereotypes every day in this type of situation. Is no different. And she finishes the girl tattoo. It was a little simple tattoo, you know, but she killed it. And, you know, of course, the girl loved it. Drea says she doesn't want to carry the narrative that black women don't get along or can't work together. She wants to change that narrative. And then, you know, Charmaine is on her little camera, her phone camera, because, you know, they couldn't bring, because she's at the hospital, they couldn't bring the hospital cameras in there. And she said her dad gets to come home from the hospital because he been in there for weeks, and he's going to Louisiana to stay with her sister, so her sister can take care of him. Charmaine said this is not what she wants for him, but it's his wishes, and she has to respect it. He wants to be at his home in Louisiana. So Drea said she feels bamboozled because she said Charmaine gave her her word and promised her that it won't be nothing like it was last year. And if she came back, and she was like, I come back and it's the same thing. And she said she never seen a shop ran like this. Kitty agrees, and she said she didn't see it going this way either. And she knows Charmaine has a lot on her plate. And that's why I asked her to know, you know, let me help her. And Drea said she ain't paying. I'm not paying. Kitty asked her, was she paying booth rent? And Drea said, I'm not paying no booth rent for which is $1,500 a month, especially when she haven't provided me any of, you know, her own stuff. All Charmaine provides is paper towels. And I'm like, damn, Charmaine. So she said this isn't a walk-in. This isn't a walk-in shop. You can't just, you know how they do walk-ins. You can walk in and get your tattoo. They not that kind of shop. And she said all her clients that she has, she built off her own. And she got clients that's flying in. Most of her clients are not from Chicago. She said she had to bring her own printer, her own stencil maker, and she agreed to do the convention. She said Charmaine doesn't know what she is doing running the shop. She said she did all the paperwork for the convention. She set everything up. She said the shop been open for 2 years and we haven't been to one convention yet, and we watched 9 man go to every last one of them. And Kitty said they kind of twisted Charmaine's arm into going to the convention. And Drea was like, this is her shop. We shouldn't have to twist her arm to do anything. If she don't want to build up her shop, then, you know, that's fine. I could have got my own banner and booth and represented myself. And Kitty said Charmaine didn't want to go if she had to pay for stuff. And Drea said, well, don't own a business and stop making us look mediocre. So Four on his way to see Nina give birth to the son or whatever. Then we're back at Second City. Charmaine stops by and she's holding a meeting because she know who been saying stuff behind her back. She come in there with a vendetta or whatever, because I don't know who telling her, and I bet you it was Prince or Prince's brother. It was one of the two. And Kitty and as Charmaine is talking to the other employees, Kitty and Drea walk in together. And Charmaine said, oh, y'all late, but it's cool. And Kitty was like, in her interview, and she was like, you got the nerve to say that when you haven't been communicating properly with people? So she gives them the rundown about the convention, and she asks if anybody had anything to say. And she asked Drea and was like, Drea? And Drea was like, what can I say? I got here. There wasn't a stencil maker, any Wi-Fi. And Charmaine cussed her off and said she wasn't prepared for more artists at the specific time. And it's not like you been in here busting tattoos open. Drea said, hold on. Sweeten up a little bit. Hold on. I just moved back. And Charmaine said, you been here a month and only worked at a shop a few days. And Drea said, how am I supposed to work in a shop with nothing to work with in this beat? And I'm like, okay. So Charmaine said, you got all your own stuff. And Drea said, with no Wi-Fi. Charmaine said, well, the router is on its way. Charmaine, now you know all this issue was supposed to be there before that shop even opened its doors. How you gonna have a tattoo shop with no stencil maker, no printer, and no Wi-Fi? I don't understand. So take some accountability. Like, come on now. So she said, you know, she finally takes some accountability and said for not knowing that things were broken and she should have been aware. Then she says in her confessional that she has a lot on her plate with her dad. And I'm like, you can't keep using that as an excuse when you're running a business and people are asking you to help you. So you need to, if you don't want their help, you need to hire somebody with, you know, the right tools to run a tattoo shop to take some weight off you. Like, you can't do everything. So, she said, I got a business to run. And she said, bitches done found a broke printer and acting like the roof done fell in. The broke printer means a lot, especially when you gotta print out pictures and stuff for a fucking tattoo. I don't know what Charmaine, obviously she don't know, she ain't in the right headspace. She taking all her frustration out on Drea. And she said, Drea, you hit me up in the group chat and said you not paying booth rent. And Drea said, what am I paying you for? You are doing nothing for me. And Prince jumps in and says, this is Charmaine's shop though, Drea. And Drea said, we never paid booth rent before. And Charmaine said, you know, I'm trying to give a vibe. I'm not trying to give a vibe like my shop. And Prince jumps in again and says, but this is your shop. Charmaine said, if it does crumble, I'm the one that's responsible and have to handle that debt. And Drea said, I have no problem paying you if you was doing what you supposed to do as an owner. And Charmaine was like, well, I got artists that are paying to be here and everyone is paying booth rent and I'm not getting a percentage. Booth rent with not a percentage. That's what she tried to clarify. She said she knows she been neglecting the shop because of her dad, but for Drea to bitch about a computer that can be fixed, she need to come up with something a little bit more legit. Now, Charmaine, I like you and I understand you going through a lot, but everything Drea said was valid concerns. And it's not all about a printer. Come on now, she addressed way more than about a printer. That ain't what it was all about or whatever. So, you know, stop putting yourself in that victim role. So Drea said, I spoke to you about the convention and you said y'all got to pay y'all own way in and pay booth rent. And she said, if we paying booth rent, then that's cool, but you should be paying for the convention. Charmaine said, you just got to work. You just want to work here for free. And everyone else is paying. It's not fair for them when they're paying booth rent and you're not doing anything. You're working for, you want to work for free. Andrea said, your shop is not worth it. And this is not the vibe I signed up for. And Kitty says, it's not the vibe I signed up for either. Prince said, this is a woman ran shop and y'all got to get y'all panties out of a bunch. And people are looking forward to y'all messing up. And this is why they feel like women can't run a tattoo shop. And this is what y'all showing them right now. Some petty BS. Other shops are already looking for it for you not to succeed. And with all this fussing, they gonna, you making it look like y'all can't succeed. So Prince feels like Drea need to realize that this is Charmaine's shop. And she can do whatever she want to do. I don't know what Charmaine then gave Prince or what Prince's mindset is. I don't know what it is. But I'm like, if it's not humane work environment, she does have a right to speak on it or whatever. So Drea said, you tell Charmaine, you need to figure out something. And Charmaine was like, I already got it figured out. My booth rent is $1,500. If you can't make it work or agree with the structure that is here, if you don't like me, if you can't work with me, then do what's best for Drea. Drea gets up and said, you know what? I ain't got time for this. And she tries to leave. And Charmaine said, you know what? Go on and empty out your booth. And Drea said, yeah, I'll do it later. And Charmaine said, now, or I have somebody empty it out for you. And Kitty said, that's not right. And Drea said, touch my, if you want to, Charmaine. And I promise you everything in this bitch gonna be broken. So Charmaine said, now you really can't come back in my shop. Prince and Kitty both said, this is not what we need. Kitty said, was that really necessary? And Charmaine, said if she wanna do that, let's stop with the BS. Say if she wanna move somebody's stuff out, she can do that. Come on now, let's stop with the especially if they're not contributing, she can do whatever she wanna do so we can stop with the BS. And Kitty said, wait, who you talking to? And like, I'm not no new cast member. And Charmaine said, you damn near not my friend. And she says in her confessional that before Kit came back to Chicago, her and Kit talked every day. And when Kit realized what her role was and it wasn't what she wanted it to be, she switched up on her. And I call BS on that. Charmaine. Because you said yourself that Kit checked on you every day. You said that. So she said she tired of dealing with fake people when she has a business to run. We'll run it. She tells Kit that a friendship doesn't have to be there. It can just be business because you haven't been a friend of me in the last month, knowing that my dad had stage 4 cancer and is dying. Kit said, are you kidding me? When I last spoke to you, I said I wanted to have a conversation with you, and I asked how you were doing, and you told me today wasn't a good day, and I respected that and kept it moving. And Kitty said she did everything to be there for Charmaine because she knows what she is going through, and Charmaine could care less. And then Charmaine gets all riled up and said, what you got going on in the shop right now? What have you been branding? What brand manager have you been doing? And Kitty said, I help you with my own damn money out of my own pocket to pay for ish. And Charmaine gets up and said, you are managing the brand, so come to me with a plan. Kitty said, you sit down now. I don't like you standing up. So Kitty stands up and Charmaine turns around and was like, what you gonna do? And Kitty was like, you doing all this? What is all this about? And Prince's brother look at him and say, this supposed to be the team? And Prince said, nah, bro, this just women with their panties in a bunch. Charmaine said, Kitty, you really gonna step to me right now? Kitty said, if I was stepping to you, I would have knocked your head off. And I believe Kitty would square up with Charmaine, because you know Charmaine can't fight. So Charmaine tells Kitty she need to get out the shop too. And Kitty said, girl, I'll knock all this over. And she knock all them shirts over. And Kitty said, I want you to touch me. Charmaine said, she said it sarcastically, I don't have to do that. And Kitty said in her confessional, now they gonna try to make it look like I tried to fight that heifer, and she stood up on me first. But what she wasn't gonna do was try to sun me in front of all the new employees, trying to show off in front of them. And then Charmaine said, yeah, get your stuff and scurry out. You look foolish. Now, Charmaine, you poking Ella, and we know you can't fight. So Kitty say, you a joke. You a joke in this industry, and you will never be taken seriously, baby girl. Charmaine gonna say, bye. I hope you can find a job. Then gonna say in her confessional, Kit could have hit her up and said, I'm your friend. I want to let you know how I feel. But Charmaine, she just said she tried to talk to you, and you said now wasn't the time. She said Kit provided her with nothing the second time around, and she would never, ever work at Second City Inc. again. Charmaine said, if she feel like someone is disrespecting her, they not gonna work at her shop. And Kitty in the back leaving, and she said, you got me messed up, old stank ass bitch. So then you see Nina in the hospital having a baby. Well, having contractions, and Ford feels bad for all the pain she's going through. And her mom calls, and she tells her mom that they're trying to give her a C-section because her platelets were too low. And he said he was worried for Nina, and knows she in pain, and he been rubbing her feet, holding her hand, trying to calm her down. He know it's not much, and it's not probably working, but it's something. Don and his son are playing basketball, and Ryan walks up, and Don asks, what's up with you? And he said at his son's birthday party, he heard last minute that Anthony was coming with the godson. And he said that, the godson and his son, they are god brothers. So, he can see why he would bring, the little boy to the party. He said he knew Anthony would be there, and he figured things would be fine. He said he went to check on something inside of the party, and when he come back out, Anthony and Kaden was gone. Ryan said he doesn't have a relationship with his godson anymore. When everything happened with Anthony basically wrote him off as, godfather, and said, you should never talk to my son ever again. And then Ryan gonna say, oh, you take him from a kid party just because you didn't get the reaction you wanted. I don't know what world Ryan living in, but it ain't this world. So he said Anthony shouldn't feel like he didn't get punished enough. So he keep on punishing him with bull. And of course, Don agreeing with him. That's what he want. Like, girl, Don, shut up. So he talking about he took accountability, and all he can do is move on. Ryan, go ahead. So Don gets a text from Ford, and Ford said, the baby was on the way. And then they sent him a video congratulating him. And so back at the hospital, Ford massaging Nina's feet, and he said they've been there for 9 hours, and she hasn't fully dilated. He said now that the baby is almost here, all the arguing they've been doing seems very small with all the pain that she is in. He admires and values her, and he still got love for her. Charmaine's dad gets released from the hospital, and she said all her issues with Kit and Drea are put on the back burner for now so she could celebrate him, being home. She said she invited some of the family members over, so, because this may be the last time that they get to see him. So she didn't think that's what he wanted or whatever. She thinks he wanted to relax because they got to head to Louisiana the next day. And I like how Neek helps her with her father. Like, he helps them down the stairs. He helps him out the car and all that. He was very hands-on with him. And he said he wants to get back to his own turf and keep himself alive. And he will be able to, go walk into the mailbox, to walk the dog. If he was home, he wouldn't just be laying around and not doing nothing. that's not the way he wants to die. Let him die doing something. And the thought, I never want to have that thought of anything happening to my daddy, because I am truly a daddy's girl, and I would be devastated. Oh man. And Charmaine said she gonna get him settled in Louisiana, then she gonna fly back to Chicago. She said, she gonna try to fly home every month to see him. And he said that would be a good plan. He just want to get himself healthy. He was glad to see all his family. She said she was trying to be strong for him because she doesn't want him to see the pain that she has deep inside, but she knows he's doing the same for her or whatever. She said she is sad that this is the last time she is going to have her father in her home. She gets him settled up in his room, and as they're, kissing him goodbye so he can lay down and take a nap or whatever, Nola blows him a kiss, and I was like, oh. And then you see them in the car on the way to the airport. Charmaine said, look, Dad, they're going to United Center. And he said, yeah, we were there that night. And Charmaine said, yeah, for my gender reveal. And she was so happy that, he remembered because, at one point in time when he first had, a little episode before they realized it was cancer, he lost his memory. So, she said it's a hard pill to swallow to take her dad home to die. And I'm like, man, that right there. So then we get back to the hospital, and it's time they're giving Nina the epidural, and then we flash over back to Charmaine, and she made it to Louisiana, her and her dad and Neek, and she says she just wishes she had more time. She wished the car can go slower, and she says it's hard letting him go back to Louisiana, but she knows she wants to follow his wishes. And then we get back to the hospital with Nina. She's giving birth, and it looked like she pushed the baby out instead of, having to have a C-section, which was pretty good. And they named their son Forever instead of Forever. Forever. Let me stop talking fast. It's Phorever, like for name, but ever and on. He said he named his son Forever because he felt like he was forgotten as a child. And if you call something forever, it's something that is unforgettable. And it's his legacy that's going to live on. If he died, he still have a piece of him still on this earth. It was a cute meaning behind the name. It was a dumb name to me at first, but the meaning is cute. And he calls Ryan and Dunn and showed him the baby, and he said he got to get off his high horse, and he understands it's not about him anymore. And he tells him that the baby weighs 7 pounds and 9 ounces. And that was the end of that episode. So next week episode, oh my God, Charmaine is gonna be real shady with talking to Caesar and Ryan laughing, and that's just like so messed up. And Kitty gonna be sitting there listening and taking it, and then she gets fed up, and I hope she get up and cuss everybody out. Cause Charmaine, you did wrong for that. That was my review of Black Ink Crew Chicago. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.